everybody, it's Crazy Aunt Susie, and it's time once again for my fabulous sex cast. Oh my gosh, Ashlyn, my lovely producer, are you online?
I am here.
Oh my God, do we have a show lined up today? I cannot wait to talk to this girl, Nenna Joiner. She has the most incredible sex store called Feelmore in Oakland, and we love her because her story is so incredible. I mean, she's the only African-American woman with a sex store in Oakland. And I mean, but I think she's got other stores too. So we're going to ask her all kinds of questions. You got your questions ready too, Ashlyn? Because I got mine here.
I'm ready.
Okay, hold on. Let me look.
I'm super excited and ready.
I think I see her. I think I see her coming down the driveway right now. Oh, there. Oh, she's walking up to the door. I always like it. They never know we're watching them. Is that Nenna Joiner?
Hey, what's happening? How are you guys?
Hey, Nenna, how are you? I'm so excited to talk to you. And on the line is my lovely producer, Ashlyn Barry from Susie's.
Hi, Nenna.
Hey.
Oh, God.
How are you?
We are doing fabulous. And I'm telling you, I did not know anything about you until Ashlyn said, we're bringing Nenna on the show. You're going to love her. So I started reading about you, and I'm just like going, I love her already. Before I even get to hear her voice, I love her already.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you, Aunt Susie.
Hey, what can I say? But let me ask you something. You know, we're here in Las Vegas. Your hometown is Las Vegas.
Yes, my hometown is Las Vegas. I love my hometown. I miss my family. All my family is there.
Aww. Now, I was reading about your story, okay? Lots of little girls, they grow up and they said, oh, I'm going to have a little dollhouse. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have tea and crackers or cookies or whatever and have make-believe tea parties. What the hell made you decide to have a sex shop? I mean, did you drive by Little Darling's strip club as a child a bunch of times and said, I'm going to have a sex store?
You know about Little Darlings. Yes, that was one of the ones on there right behind. My dad used to work at Caesar's Palace, so right behind was the gentlemen's clubs back on, what's that?
Industrial or Sammy Davis.
Exactly. Now, that was the strip. Mm-hmm. That was the strip for the strip club.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but what that's the question. What were there dreams that you had? What possessed you to think that? How old were you when you said, I'm going to sell dildos and create a vibrator?
You know what? I was much, much older, but then my exposure was that I got to see, a lot of sex workers going from Las Vegas up to, Reno, Tonopah area, test site area, and saw those ladies going up there and just respected them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just respected what they did and felt, even as a young kid, seeing them, felt very good about that experience, that they carried themselves, they treated me nicely, and just what they had to go through. And so I kind of connected with that story as a kid, but as I got older, I was like, I was watching so much porn, I was like, hey, you know what? I need to really be around this.
Vegas can be lonely, and you do have to watch porn on occasion. That's what I found out as an old woman of my age. I mean, I go through at least 2 blow-up dolls a year. Now, so growing up in Las Vegas, I guess it did affect your path towards joining the pleasure industry, basically.
Yes, it did.
So
it did. It did. Vegas. What do we call Vegas? What do we call Vegas?
Sin City, baby.
Sin City.
Sin City. Mm-hmm.
What happens in Vegas? What?
Stays in Vegas unless you're doing it on video.
There we go.
unless
right, but see, it provided the Sin City, but it also said Sin City and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Basically, consent. That what you did was kept private, and I think it kind of, there's a lot of addiction going on in Vegas. So we got that room kind of culture behavior where we just let people be themselves and go on about our business.
Mm-hmm. And that was, I mean, you've had this store for what, 9 years now?
Actually, a little longer. I've had it since 2010, summer of 2010, and we opened February 14th, 2014. 2011.
But what drew you to Oakland? I knew you were into the whole the rap scene and whatever, and the guy selling CDs and stuff out of the trunks of the car. What made you decide I'm gonna go sell sex toys out of the trunk of my car in Oakland? I just love that story.
I didn't move here specifically at the beginning
Right.
to sell sex toys, but the music did bring me to Oakland. It brought me to Oakland just because of the entrepreneurship nature of music, and rap music was big. MTV Raps, all these rap shows was on, and so you could see that. And so, but when I got to the Bay Area, I actually was in school. So I was in college and finishing up school and just having a good experience with going to school and, finished college, came back. And then after college, decided this is what I wanted to do a little after college.
So I was reading a bunch of stories. You are absolutely adorable, by the way. I'm just looking at you. You and Poussey from Orange is the New Black could almost be sisters. Did you ever get that? Anybody ever said that to you?
I was at a Halloween party in Vegas at Treasure Island, and this lady walks up to me. I'm in a toga, dressed as Caesar, and this lady walks up to me. She's like, "Are you?" And even before she took it, me and my date at the time, we just took off running like we were. You know what I mean? And so she was like, "Oh my god!"
She's
I was
screaming.
like, "No." I was like, I've gotten that so much. All I want are the texts Poussey gets. Nothing else. Not even nothing else.
Nothing else. Just the text. Because I was like, I was reading about, you had the dream about the sex shop, and then you went online. You just decided to go online and purchase like 100 pieces of porn and sex toys. Now, they're not cheap. They're not cheap.
No, at that time, they were hella expensive. Porn was really like the real value of porn. But I took $100 and split it between vibrators and DVDs, and had a good experience of taking it around to some of the transit centers here in the Bay Area, and also barbershops and clubs as well.
That's what I was like reading about. You had this stigma at one time. You had a personal fear of talking about sex, but all of a sudden you just decide to do this to overcome your fear. Is that what happened? Or
yeah, I think what it was, as I look back, especially selling stuff outside to people, it was basically I was overcoming a fear that I didn't know I was going to have to overcome to be in business, to raise it to the level that we're raising, that I want to raise it. Not even there yet, but just to continue to, you have to continue, you have to continue to evolve as a person for the business to get better.
But I just love, what I find so adorable about you is how you just walk up to people, you go into bars and start hanging out cock rings to people.
Yeah, they like it.
Do you ever get people that are going, huh? Or do you ever get people that go, what's that?
It's the younger people now who are the and the older people, they've already gotten a cock ring. They're like, just take the cock ring.
Right.
Give it to me if you're not going to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean so the older people know, the younger people are going, huh? It's like, what?
Yeah. The young people are like, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. No, you're not. Take this cock ring. You need it.
Isn't it amazing? Folks like yourself, industries like Susie's, I mean, the whole pleasure industry itself, it's like so many young people are freaking naive to anything. I mean, they don't know how to have fun sex.
No. Older people are actually okay with it. They're like, there's nothing new under the sun. And so that's the power of, age, if you will. It's like you don't give a fuck.
Right.
So, as you get older, you're like, fuck you, I don't care. And you keep walking. The younger you are, you have a little bit more emotions around it, but you got to get through it. Sooner or later, you'll get through it.
One of the things I was reading about you at this one interview that they were doing, some people say that Amazon is killing businesses because you can buy a dildo, you can buy a vibrator on Amazon, but you said no. What's killing business is customer service, and poor service, and you said there's a heavy shame around returning sex toys. You can return sex toys.
Yeah, there's a heavy shame around not so much as returning sex toys, but returning sex toys that are broken. Amazon
gotcha.
is one of those sites where you'll probably find a high percentage of broken products.
Because
And so who do you return it to, Or if you're buying it from a store, who do you return it to if it's broken? So the main thing is around customer service is making sure that the person knows that they can bring anything back, not so much as that you're returning sex toys, but like on things that are broken.
Right.
You're giving them a level of service. Even though the sign says you can't bring shit back, you still want people to feel confident about what they purchase.
Right. I mean, I just...
Yeah. Another thing about that, Nina, that I'm sure you'll agree with, but at Susie's and, in good adult stores in general, there's so much more information that you can get on the product you're getting rather than going to Amazon and reading a few weird reviews about something you don't know about. The experience of going into a cool store like Feelmore Adult and talking to Nina about whatever you're buying is going to provide you with so much more information, and you'll probably like your products more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. You're right. Going in allows them to talk to us about whatever they're talking about. You know what I mean? But also just get an identity of the product and the space. I think it's fun to know who you're buying your dildos from.
I love it. True, but I mean, to be able to walk into a place and, I think that the secret is, like you said, customer service, but making the customer feel comfortable. Because a lot of people, there's a stigma around adult stores. It's the old peep show in the back, and you sneak in, you sneak around, nobody wants to see you, and whatever, you wear sunglasses.
I like those, by the way.
Girl, we're going to get along really well.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying? There is a stigma from the old days, whereas you walk into stores now, it's almost a homey, comfortable feeling. I was looking at pictures of your place, and I was like going, wow, that's really pretty the way you have it decorated and whatever. I was like, wow. And but wait a second. It says here you were an adult filmmaker before this?
Yeah. I've shot porn. I've done two porns. I wasn't in them. I wasn't in them, but I was in them. But yeah. So I won 2 feminist porn awards. One was Hella Brown, Tight Places. Hella Brown, Real Sex in the City, and then Tight Places, A Drop of Color.
Wow. Impressive. But I was looking at the adult store. I was looking at I'm looking at these pictures from this one article, and there's the whips there. But I was telling Ashlyn, I looked over. You collect vintage Playboy magazines, and there's a picture. You're not going to believe this, okay? You're not going to believe this, but there's a picture in the one article of Andrea Dorian. She was a Playboy. On the cover. She's actually on the cover in the picture in this magazine article that you have. And her name is Victoria. Okay. Her name is Victoria Rabb. She tried to murder her husband. She lived in the apartment below mine in Hollywood. And I was there when I said, wait a minute. That bitch tried to kill her husband. I was sitting in my apartment. And I just was freaked out that you had that was the one Playboy copy that's sitting on top in the picture in the magazine article about you. She got out last year.
Oh, wow.
She got out in 2018.
How many years was she in there?
9. She had, what happened, Hugh Hefner gave her a gun. So so what happened was her husband said, Bruce said he was going to leave her. And she said, no, you're not. And he goes, yes, I am. And as he walked out the door, she came after him with a gun. And I lived on the 4th floor. She lived directly underneath me on the 3rd floor. And we kept hearing these banging and whatever. Next thing you know, my ass is on Inside Edition going, yeah, she did it. She got pissed off.
She killed him?
No, he was maimed, but he's okay. He got out. He got out of the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And then she didn't, God bless her. She didn't age well. Prison didn't help her. But anyway, that was just a tidbit of trivial bullshit that I thought I would share with you. And it just blew me away that her picture was in the article I was doing research on.
Oh, wow.
You know which Playboy I'm talking about, too. I bet.
No. No, which one?
It's the one where she's on the cover. And there is this.
It's pink.
Which year?
There's a brown-haired girl.
She's a brown-haired girl from 68. Probably.
That's 60. That's a lot. Come on now. 68.
All right. Well,
I need the month and the year.
I can't blow it up. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to see entertainment from no, because the picture's cut off. But it's okay. I'll send it to you afterwards, and then you can answer me.
For sure.
It's just pretty cool. So let me ask you. Another thing. How has COVID, the whole COVID thing, affected you guys? Because I know California is still under. I mean, they opened it, now they're closing it, and then they're opening it, and now they're tightening back. Has it affected your business a lot, or has it improved your business?
It has affected the business, and I think anything that affects the entire community affects my business, because you want people out on the street, you want them walking, you want their eyeballs on your space, because that's also where you're getting new customers or, old customers. But it's changed because, no one wants to come to work, or, you can get sick. Your sickness has to, you have to be out a little bit longer to get sick, those kind of things. So it has changed everything, but I think it allowed us to have more compassion for people. Systematically. Usually you have compassion for people, but the system doesn't allow you to have compassion for people, and I think that's happening right now.
So that you've had to like tweak your strategy, huh? Since the quarantine?
Yeah, you've not so much as tweak the strategy. I know we've done a lot of sex toy deliveries, but that's somewhat not sustainable on a long-term basis, but it's giving us an opportunity to extend the business beyond the store to the customer and to see who they are and see what the needs are, just to see where else we can operate.
I love the I Sell Tex Toys T-shirt. I want one. I want to have it.
Thank you.
I want to go get my. I want to get one, and I want to get my little jewel thing that puts the rhinestones on stuff because.
Nice.
Susie sells those dildos too. So tell me about the vibrator you created. The vibrator you invented, invented, but the vibrator you created for your brand. Feelmore.
Yeah, usually what you do is you just pull something out there and you say this is a nice product, and you brand it up with your own stuff, either be in the box or stamps on the product. But it's just a standard vibrator. Didn't want to deviate too much and just have something that a lot of people can afford, get in their hand, and then it's just still very useful.
Right.
But just so we're gonna try something else. That one was okay. We want to get better, but COVID cut the time down, cut the traveling down, so we can't get to China where most of the things are made, to make sure that we get great quality and we get more input.
Right. Are there no manufacturers in the America, or is it just more inexpensive to deal with China?
It's always more inexpensive to deal with China because most things are created in mind here, and they're manufactured in other countries.
So, you ever thought of? Do you sell the? I guess you don't sell the I Sell Sex Toys. You should do one that says I Buy Sex Toys.
Yeah, we do that one.
Do you really?
I Buy Sex Toys.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I've got to get one. So is the vibrators and the T-shirts. What else do you guys have you created for your brand? How'd you get the name?
Yeah, definitely. Feelmore. How did I get the name? I just came up with it one day. I was doing some video work. As I said, I do porn, but I also came from just traditional background of television, film and television. More television, and I was on a video shoot doing audio, and I was at a room that was called Feelmore, which was named after the Feelmore Street in San Francisco. And then from there, it came out of my mind. So I was sitting at that room for so long. And that's where it came from.
You should do a comedy parody using the music from Little Shop of Horrors, Suddenly Seymour. You should do Suddenly Feel More. I feel you inside me.
I feel you inside me. I like that
one. I just thought of that. But you could do that. You could do a parody.
Yeah. And we do greeting cards and things like that.
You create them?
I'm looking around. Yeah, we create our own greeting cards, and we have candles that we create as well.
Cool.
Just would love to have a loo, but a little bit more costly. But yeah, would love to have a loo.
But that is so cool, Ashlyn. I know.
Yeah, I have a question because we're on the subject of lube. What's your favorite lube?
My favorite lube would be Liquid Silk.
Liquid Silk.
What is that? Water
it
or
looks like a lotion? It's in the purple bottle. It looks like a lotion. It's in a purple bottle, but it's a hybrid between silicone and water-based, and it does not fuck up your silicone toys. So.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
That's cool.
So do you have like, you have the store there? You were telling me earlier before we went on the air, you were heading to Berkeley? You have another store?
Yeah, so we have so we opened a second store at downtown Berkeley, which is a block from UC Berkeley campus.
Wow.
And we're in the heart of everything here in downtown Berkeley. But yeah, we got Oakland, now we got downtown Oakland, now we got downtown Berkeley.
That should be good with all the. Well, are there any college kids in town with this craziness, or what?
Right. No, they went home first. So it's like a ghost town over here.
Aww.
So we're still interacting with the community. So the main thing is to build up the community component before the campus component comes back. So we're working there.
How's the online? Are you doing a lot of online? I was on your website and I didn't go too far into it, but do you have can you order things online or curbside service like what we do at Susie's?
Yeah, everything, you can pull up or pick up. Anything is possible. 6 inches or 6 feet. Everything is on the table. I love that.
6 inches. I told Ashlyn, I said, I love her 6 inches or 6 feet.
That's great.
6 inches or 6 feet. However you want to do it, we can get it done.
That is pretty cool. Oh my gosh, Ashlyn.
So, I have a question. You work a lot in the sex education community, in our pleasure industry about sex education. What do you think needs to be done to make sex education more accessible for both, people still going to school and adults who, America hasn't been kind to about talking about sex in a positive way? What do you think can be done to work on that?
Yeah, I think just what you said, it hasn't been done well, but we need to continue to do it. And you need to have warriors, and I mean warriors are people who don't mind talking about it, are okay with people asking why they're talking about it, but continue to talk about it, because the more it's talked about, the more education people get around it.
Interesting. That's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you ever do well, I guess when did you open the Berkeley place? How long has that been open?
January. We just opened it right before COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Were you ever are you still thinking once the kids come back, have you ever thought of having sort of like the coffee shop thing where they come in and you have sex talk, coffee talk, or whatever sessions with the kids? You got questions about sex? Come on over and visit us, because that's what you seem to. You seem to. Yeah,
we're so close to the university. We expect to be at the university talking about this stuff. So I think we're definitely going to connect with the college campus and just be a resource there, but you also want to make sure it's not around their friends so that they can ask those questions, because not everybody's traveling in packs.
Right.
But you also want to be conscious of the people who just want that space alone time. So, we're going to do the coffee talks and things like that, but we're also going to make sure that we're functioning to be able to provide information on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, and besides, I mean, one of the things I was reading about you that you have to understand, I'm so impressed with you. You make me happy. And I was reading about you were out there getting people to vote. You've become an activist in the community. I mean, how has what has happened with all the marches and the protests for Black Lives Matter, how has that, I'm sure, has just fired you up? It's fired me up. It's fired it's fired intelligent people with empathy and hearts and souls up. But how has that affected you in the past few months?
No, it's affected me my whole life. So,
of course, I understand.
I stayed fired up.
Right.
And I just know that having the right people in office really matters. But I think, one of the things we need to do is really kind of have police reform where these are professionals doing the work for our communities and acting as though they're doing the work for our communities to keep everyone safe, not just themselves.
Right.
And I just want to continue to encourage people to exercise their rights, know their rights, and to vote. I think voting is very important. But I think once after a certain point, some people get jaded with the political system the higher they go. They're like rock stars. I think a lot of them stay in there longer than they should stay in there. And what I would like to see as an individual is, people in there who are really doing the work for the community and not just voting for things that won't get passed, that are good ideas and good, policy, but are actually working to get policy passed that we can live with.
Right. You have such a, you have such a weight with words when you speak out. And I've noticed that. I watched the Instagram bit that the video from Instagram was incredible. But your quote is, if we can make sex fun, we can make voting fun. So why is it, just for everybody out there, you kind of skimmed a little bit, but why is voting so important to you right now?
Voting is it's so important right now and forevermore. It's because it shapes how we do things structurally in our communities. And what we want to do is, if we want to have a fair and just shaped community, it's built up of those fair and just shaped votes for people who deal in fair and just societies. I don't mean just justice, but I mean just. Right. Just because you're human, that you have a policy that protects you from anyone who doesn't believe you should exist. And we want just everything. I want just housing. I want just, police accountability. I want just economic policy. I want all of these just things. And I think voting is a clear way for us to get there as a larger body of people, to encourage politicians who pretend that they don't know what's going on the ground because they're no longer down here, who've forgotten where they came from and forgotten the policies that their original platform stood for, that we need to continue to shift the vote that works for a greater good, not just for California or Nevada, but for the entire country, that we, as a country, we could live with. Not as just a community, as a country.
Gotcha. You registered, Feelmore was registered as a voting precinct, but they turned you down. Are you still trying to get it this time?
Oh, hell yeah.
Girl, go.
Yeah.
Go.
So we're still, you never give up on your dreams.
Never.
You tell people out there, please never give up on your dreams. It may be not now, but not right now. But it's not a no, but it's just not right now. But I signed up to make sure that the space could be a voting space. If they were using freaking churches and garages and apartment lobbies, why not? Why not make it fun? And so they have yet to give us that privilege, but, just because it's not right now doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. So I'm going to continue to push that envelope.
I just love you. You are such a positive, bright light. You just make me smile. I love your energy. Ashlyn, you got anything you want to ask before we wrap this up here?
I mean, that was amazing.
I know, it was very amazing.
I wish I lived in Oakland or Berkeley now that I know you might be a voting location. That's so cool. Our business is sometimes linked to politics as well. Like just recently with the small business loans that were given out with COVID-19, we were not allowed to apply for those. So I guess if I was to say anything else on this note, it's just that, if the laws and voting affect so much more than most people know. Like, we're considered a Purian business, and we couldn't even get the small business loans during COVID because, somebody thinks sex isn't a real business, even though we're allowed to be a real business. So do you have any thoughts on that?
That's why we need to continue to vote. We need to look at the economic policy, because that's one of the drivers in our industry specifically. That's one of the drivers in our industry that we We have higher taxation around merchant systems. We have banking issues where they could, if you're on PayPal, they could take your money. You know, just all of those things that really make it hard to just function as everyone else. You know, even there's economic discrimination. So I think as time goes on, we have to really look at these laws that were on the books for, you know, when the country started, you know, then to where it is now, or when a city started, maybe in the early 1800s to where it is now. We actually have to continue to change laws to follow the times, especially around business and especially around people.
Yeah, what did the best president that we've ever had say? Hope and change. Hope and change. We still
Hope
have.
Hope it changes.
We hope it changes. You know, and we might have our first African American vice president nominee coming up here. So that's gonna, that's some pretty amazing stuff. My darling, what a pleasure it has been to chat with you today. You are, I swear, sometimes we get to interview people and they're fun and whatever, but when I get to talk to somebody like yourself, who is a mover and a shaker and has so much heart and empathy and soul for the community, as well as your incredible drive to make your business such a success, it makes us happy. And I'm so glad that you were able to come on and share with us. Will you come back again sometime and talk to us?
I will. I can't wait to come in. If I can give you a hug and come to Vegas and be on your show, I'll definitely do that.
Now, do you come back to Vegas often to see the folks?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes,
girl.
I do.
It's a date, or is that? Mark it down, Ashlyn.
I am marking it as we speak. I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to have the fabulous Nenna Joiner from Feelmore Adult Gallery in Oakland. Thank you so much, my dear. And this is Susie, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye, Ashlyn.
Bye, guys.
Bye.